this is unrelated to everything that this podcast stands for. But did I tell you? No, it does. It's not unrelated. Hold on. I'll tie it together. So
I'm excited.
A few weeks ago, Mouse usually comes when I call for him. Mm-hmm. He's a very good boy. Mm-hmm. And for some reason this night he wasn't. Unless, and I don't know why I was saying this out loud just alone in my house. I was going, hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Like that. Have you seen that like YouTube compilation? She had like a kid show for a while, and that's how she introduced herself every episode with the exact same cadence. And so there's like a YouTube video compilation of just her saying, hi, I'm Shelley Duvall. And for some reason I was saying it, and Mouse would come Tokyo drifting around the corner into the room. Like, what about that was so compelling? Weird. Won't come when I call him, comes when I call Shelley Duvall.
Is Mouse's name actually Shelley Duvall?
Maybe.
Huh.
And here's how I'm going to tie that into horror. She starred in The Shining.
Yeah, good job.
So, thanks. Weak dismount. Hi, I'm Shelley Duvall. Welcome to Never Show the Monster. I'm actually Kelly Attaway.
I'm Chelsea Hollander.
And today we are talking about the new movie Tarot, 2024 movie Tarot, which is a very truth or dare movie.
Okay, I was like, I don't know what you're gonna say for. I get another game movie.
Another game movie with.
Well, Tarot isn't a game, but kind of. But like,
it had the same structure as our game movies, where
one person at a time has an interaction with something.
Yes, yeah, that's like predictable from an earlier scene.
Yes,
like it's all very predictable. So brief synopsis of the plot. Actually, you had something that you wanted to talk about, and then we said save it for the pod.
Yeah, I had two things. I finally opened the Tarot del Toro. I was doing that thing where you don't open stuff because you're like, I want it in the most pristine condition possible. Yeah. And then, because of certain life happenings, I was like, nope, I want to open everything and I want to look at it and I want to touch it.
Yeah.
And I just almost dropped it. But yeah, all the art on it is beautiful and I love it.
Yay.
I don't know how to read tarot, but I love looking at the cards.
That's so fun. Do you have some favorites?
Yeah, there is a Del Toro card in here. It's the Magician.
Ha!
Have you seen any of them?
No, I sent it to you and was like, I'm going to need that broad to send me pictures.
Okay, so whenever I come visit next, I will bring it.
So remind me about this. Is it Guillermo del Toro inspired or designed?
So it was inspired, but he did help with it.
Cool.
I think. It says it on the book. It doesn't have him listed as one of the artists, but I think it was with his, inspired by the world of Guillermo del Toro, forward by Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, cool.
Written and illustrated by Tomás Hijo.
Yeah.
Did he do the fall? He did the fall. Did he do the fall?
Del Toro?
Yeah. No, that's Tarsim's thing, right?
I cannot remember.
I think that's Tarsim's thing. It starts off with a quote from The Fall, but I don't know if it's from The Fall. Any legend, any creature, any symbol we ever stumble upon already exists in a vast cosmic reservoir where archetypes wait, shapes looming outside our platonic cave. We naturally believe ourselves clever and wise, so advanced, and those who came before us so naive and simple, when all we truly do is echo the order of the universe as it guides us. It sounds like it's from that movie.
It absolutely could be, but there's also a book by Camus by that name.
Oh, okay.
Which is, I haven't read it, but Camus is a big philosophy nihilist guy, so
that makes sense. Oh, all the pictures are in here. That might have been easier.
Oh, but less fun. You wanted to touch everything.
This one is The Hanged. It's all right.
Whoa.
This is terrible for anybody that's...
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Is that... Okay, so from where I'm sitting, it looks like a fetus, is it?
It's a fetus.
Okay. Of a human or...
Yeah, human.
That's where I like to keep my fetuses, in jars. Definitely never in my body.
In the womb. Yeah, good call.
Fun.
Super fun. Yeah, so glad I got to open them. So glad I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of my stuff is no longer in plastic. I feel like somebody's probably cringing listening to this, being like, you need to keep stuff pristine.
No, you don't. You get to use your stuff. What's the point of stuff if you're not using it?
Because then when it comes down to, like, if you're trying to keep it pristine and then at some point, if it's like, oh, I need to sell it, you're like, you never really got to enjoy it in the first place, I guess. I don't know.
Right. I don't want fun stuff if I don't get to have fun with it.
And I feel like I wouldn't sell it unless that times would get, like, hard. Otherwise, people want to keep them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Someone's listening who's a collector, and they're just, it's fine.
Well, collect your own stuff. I get to do whatever I like with my collection. And I promise I won't come to your house and touch all your collections. I won't open them.
I do collect playing cards, but I've also recently been opening all of them, too.
I felt that way. You sent me those X-Files cards, and I was like, probably I'm not supposed to open these. I'm a opener.
Yep. Good. I'm glad.
I gotta look at them. Speaking of looking, actually, I have a story that I want to tell you before I make a transition back into tarot. So, a very scary thing happened to me 2 days ago.
Oh.
I was sitting here in the office, and I heard a door open behind me, and Mouse has been pawing open the bathroom door. So I just assumed it was him. But then he darted out of this room to go investigate the door opening.
Oh, no.
So I go through this door, go around the corner, and I can see my front door is open. And not just like ajar.
A oh my God.
Fully like perpendicular to the doorway. It is open. And so I'm like creeping around the corner, and my apartment building, it's an old house converted into 4 apartments, and there is a key code to enter the building. So they are already in the building, up the stairs at my apartment, door open. So I come around the corner and I'm like, and this woman walks in and says, "Who are you?"
Oh my God.
Bitch, who are you?
Yeah.
What do you mean, who am I? What do you mean, who am I? Who are you? And I don't know if you remember this. I have had one recurring nightmare for probably 15 years. And almost exactly 15 years. And in this dream, I'm in my apartment, and the police barge in through the door and start asking me who I am. And in the dream, they're like, "Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?" I say, "I'm Kelly Attaway." Oh my God. Yeah. And they're like, "No, you're not. This is Kelly Attaway's apartment, but you are not her. You need to leave." And they're like telling me to get on the floor. "You're not Kelly Attaway." And in the dream, I look over at the mirror, and they're right. I'm not Kelly Attaway. It's somebody else looking back at me. So to go to my front door that has just opened mysteriously and have somebody be like, "Who are you?" I was like, I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't know who I am. I don't know who you are. I don't know who I am. And so we're like trying to communicate to each other, like, what is happening? And neither of our answers are making sense to the other one.
Oh my God.
Until she finally says her name. She's one of the landlords. I just had only emailed with her. I hadn't seen her face yet. And she was trying to get into the other apartment at the top of the stairs. And these just don't have numbers on them. So she entered the wrong unit. But I was like, this was horrifying.
Yeah.
This was not the way that I want to meet my new landlady.
Yeah, that is a weird start.
And also,
I
was just like filthy and in my nightgown from unpacking. I'm like, I wasn't in the nightgown from unpacking. That was from sleeping. But the filth was from unpacking. So I'm just like, I don't want to. This is horrible.
Yeah. Oh my God. That is so scary.
Oh well. It's at least funny now. But in the moment, I was like, where did I put my knives, I guess? Question mark.
I always have scissors near.
Oh, that's smart.
For that reason. Especially, semi-update for our listener. Oh, this is going to be really depressing. Since Petty's not around anymore, the sounds freak me out so bad all the time. And I'm like, oh my God, where did that sound come from? But it's just been so quiet too. So that's been a little bit of the pits. But yeah, just you don't notice how much animals make noise.
Yeah.
And how calming it is because you can just always blame it on your animal. You're like,
always attribute
it's the animal. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
But now anytime I hear a sound, I'm like, I just have to go walk around for like 3 minutes, check every closet, check under the beds.
I know. You've got to clear every room.
Yeah.
Honestly,
it's all right. It's probably just mice.
Yeah, I guess. And then my update is I'm selling my house and I'm living in an apartment now.
Yay.
And yeah, that has been a change here is the number of noises.
Oh, way more noises, right?
There's way more noises, but it's less. There are fewer rooms in the apartment. So I can pretty much see everywhere at once.
That is
and there's
nice.
only one closet. So it is very easy to clear.
It's very quick to do that quick walkthrough.
I do have another weird update that ties into the movie. Yes.
Ooh.
So we were going to record this
some time ago.
Some weeks ago.
Sometime. I don't know, but every week feels like a month, so I can't even tell if it was last week or 6 weeks ago.
It could have been a year. I don't know. But I do know that after I saw this movie and before we were going to record, I made an appointment to have my tarot read.
Ooh.
Which I'd never done before. Have you?
No.
It was a very interesting experience. And it was double interesting because we did it on Zoom.
Oh.
I found somebody in Boulder hoping to go somewhere, but it was just on the internet.
They were like, oh, we just do it here. That's funny because it does remind me of Host.
Yes. Yeah.
So doing it like a
little seance.
Yeah.
Well, and especially we log on and, we chat a little just to be like, have you done this before type thing. Mm-hmm. And then to start, she had me say my name out loud 3 times. So it really did feel like a ritual.
Yeah.
I was a little, not
do that
scary
in the movies.
I know. It was just, there's 1,000 different ways to read tarot, I guess. But yeah, it was really interesting. We talked for an hour and it was a little bit like how they did it in the movie where they do a horoscope spread in the movie, which I had never heard of before, but a quick Google says that that's real.
That's normal. Oh, okay.
And this woman didn't do horoscope, but it was like a glimpse of what my next 3 or 6 months are supposed to, or what the guides or whatever are saying. But here was my favorite part. So, for the listener, I don't know how much of this story is important. So years ago, when I left my first job, one of my coworkers, who was like a surrogate dad for me, gifted me a book that was vaguely religious, mostly philosophical, but vaguely religious. And I just never read it. Didn't want to. That's not for me. Thank you, though. And when I moved into the house that I am selling, I donated this book. Got rid of it. I was like, finally, you've been carrying this around for 10 years. You're clearly never going to read it. It's okay to donate it. So I got rid of it. Then I'm packing up the house. This is just a few weeks ago. Packing up the house. House is empty. Movers have come. Everything that I intend to bring to the apartment is out of the house. And I'm making a pile of stuff that I need to deal with the next day, like light fixtures I need to install. And in this pile, which is new, this is a brand new pile that I have just assembled, I find this book that I could have sworn I donated. And it's just appeared. So I guess I have to read it now. But in this tarot reading, she was like, have you ever had, how do I ask this? Have you ever felt like maybe you have a prophetic tendency. I was like, excuse me. She was like, I'm just looking at these cards, and it seems like your guides are nudging you into like maybe pursuing this as a thing. And I was like, oh, a weird thing did happen recently. And before I told her, she was like, they have a strong sense of humor, and I get the sense that they're roasting you. I was like, oh, yeah, they would be, I guess.
That's funny.
So I don't know. I guess I'll learn to read tarot. Yeah, so that was super interesting. And like, I don't know how much I believe in it, but it was a very fascinating conversation. Also, I don't know what pentacles are, but the word sounds like tentacles, and each of the spreads we did was very pentacle heavy, and I was like, ugh.
Girl, that does not sound. I don't like that. Is it good? Did they say did it mean anything?
I think so, but I don't remember what. It doesn't look like I wrote it down.
Okay.
Oh, well. But I guess a couple of my cards, I got the High Priestess and...
Who makes an appearance in the movie.
And the Sun, both of which are from the Major Arcana. And I guess those don't... She said those don't come up in readings very often, and when they do, they're... like, take them seriously.
No.
And the Sun says, oh, that my guides are proud of me and that I'm on the right path.
I agree. I'm not one of your guides, but I agree.
Oh, thanks. You are one of my guides.
Aww.
And then the other, the High Priestess is the one who's like, bitch, you psychic. Gentle awareness to mediumship is the phrase I wrote down. So we'll see. Maybe I'll be psychic the next time we record.
Perfect.
Yeah, so in this movie...
Oh, yeah. Are you going to start reading people's tarot?
No, probably not. No, I can't.
Well, if you got it, you might want to flaunt it.
Yeah, I mean, if it turns out that I, like, have The Shining... Hi, I'm Shelley Duvall.
You did? Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, my God, is that why I was...
Maybe you might be Shelley Duvall.
They are roasting me.
They are. It's pretty funny, honestly.
I don't even like Stephen King. Oh, fascinating.
Oh.
And also, this movie is a pretty good... It's very instructive not to read tarot for your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll get cursed.
I mean, also, don't read it from a deck that you find in a basement. Much like Cabin in the Woods, very much like Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, it was so Cabin in the Woods. I mean, an Evil Dead, heavy. Right? It's like...
Oh, yeah.
It's the go into the basement, find trinkets and treasures.
A bunch of stuff. Yeah.
They're all cursed, probably.
Yep.
At least one of them is cursed. Whatever you're drawn to is cursed in the creepy basement.
I feel like, I don't know. Yeah, I would not have touched. I'm very risk averse. Haven't always been. No, maybe. When I was a child, I wasn't. As an adult, I very much am.
Oh, I'm the other way. As a child, I was much more risk averse, and now I'm like, yeah, I'll use the tarot deck.
I played with the Ouija board when I was a kid. I would not do that today, and I have been very vocal about that. And there's like a lot of stuff I would play in mud puddles. Now, anytime I see a mud puddle, I'm like, there could be glass in there. I immediately am just like, I can't go barefoot anywhere. I can't even go barefoot in my kitchen. Glass. I'm so worried.
Oh no. We got to get you slippers.
It's fine. I did find a piece of glass on my floor, and I was like, where did this come from?
Where did it come from?
And there was also like a weird
it came from
cat.
The tornado.
Well, none of the glass broke in the house. So
no, but it got whipped into an open window.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
Hey,
yeah.
I'm psychic, so
it could have been brought in from outside for sure. So I don't know, but yeah. I don't know where I was going with that. Risk adverse. Oh, I wouldn't go down into a basement and touch tarot cards. I think I
Would
would
you go
avoid
into the
it.
basement of this Airbnb?
No.
Not at all? No?
I don't know. I might. Because the initial time they go down, I'm like, that's really creepy. I'd probably want to see this stuff, but I would keep my hands to myself.
No
I
touching.
would not touch anything. I would
Hands
be
and
like,
feet
oh.
inside the vehicle.
I would be concerned that I would probably not sleep that night for fear of just being in that basement haunting me.
Having awakened the evil dead.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, this movie starts with a group of college students on vacation. What is it? Spring break, maybe?
Oh.
No, it's like right before graduation, right?
Yeah, something like that.
And that could be spring break. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Group of college students taking like a cute little trip to stay in this huge, fancy, I guess it's not that fancy, huge Airbnb.
Fancy.
It's reasonably fancy.
I would say it's kind of nice. Yeah.
It's nice. It's spooky. Like we could do a remake of The Haunting here if we wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
No?
probably not The Haunting.
Am I thinking of the wrong one?
The Haunting had like a lot. It was big.
You're right. It was bigger and more ornate.
You remember the part with the faces that come down because they're carved into the wood?
The main thing that I remember about that.
That's the only thing I do. But it's like, and the thing inside of the fireplace
And
that
the fireplace.
takes off, the lion.
Yeah.
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 Oh, we should do that sometime. God, I love that movie.
Really should.
Great movie.
But I said that those faces coming down from the carved wood was the thing that I remember most from that movie. That's incorrect. The thing that I remember most of that movie is how hot Catherine Zeta-Jones
Yeah,
is.
she really was, honestly.
Yeah, like unstoppable in that movie.
Was Liam Neeson in it?
Yes.
Huh.
Isn't that weird?
What an all-star cast.
Truly.
Owen Wilson, Liam Neeson, Catherine Zeta-Jones,
Etc.
that one girl.
I don't know her name.
I saw her in something recently, too, and I was like, oh, it's her from The Haunting.
Oh, good for her.
That's who she is in my mind. I think her name is Nell in the...
Yes.
Yeah, because it's based off of... Okay, so it could be like The Haunting in Hill House. You could recreate.
Oh.
Right?
Are those the same story?
I think that they are.
They're
but I'm thinking
very
of that
similar.
movie. Because that first movie, The Haunting... No... Is the original movie The Haunting based on it? The black and white one with the lady who does the... We're just making this about The Haunting now.
Yeah, sorry. Hold on. We're going to get back to tarot.
We're doing you guys a favor.
So the Catherine Zeta-Jones Haunting is definitely a remake of the black and white Haunting.
Yes, for sure.
With some
and I think
different
that is
elements.
based off of... Because her name's Nell.
I think you're right.
And the name of the
Because
character
I
in
think-
The Haunting of Hill House is Nell.
I think you're right. And I've read the book.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it's in there. But now that you're saying it, I think that I read the book around the same time that I watched the black and white The Haunting. Like as a pairing. It didn't work, I guess. I should have paid more attention.
Yeah. I think it might have been one of those ones. Other than that one scene, I don't remember anything from the black and white one. My brain has overwritten all the other parts, which is fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm okay with that.
It was, I liked it though.
Yeah, The Haunting, the one with Catherine Zeta-Jones, is one of the ones that I watched when I was younger that I was really into. And I was like, I will watch this again and again. So.
I did rewatch it a few years ago though, and it's not a good movie.
That's probably true.
It is, however, a fun movie.
Yeah.
So, recommend it.
I'm going to rewatch it soon then.
Yeah. I watched it and I believe Armageddon in the same night.
Oh my gosh.
Incredible pairing.
There was recently, like a couple weeks ago, Ryan and I went to Kansas City, and in the Nelson Atkins Museum, their art museum there, and I'm going to recommend this very highly for anybody that goes to Kansas City, is they have this art piece called like The Doors of Paradise. And it was like two giant golden doors, and there are only two in the world. Like this one was a replica because the guy originally made like a a mold for it.
Oh.
And it, like, the one there was because somebody went to Rome and they really loved it and they paid for it to be recreated.
Whoa.
But it took, like, the guy, like, his entire life, or it took, like, 30 to... Each little thing took, like, 4, maybe 3 years. It took years. It took very, very long. It took many decades.
Like panels? What do you mean little things?
Yeah, it's like the entire story of how the world was created. It's all very religious, so it's different stories from the Bible. But it's, like, it's beautiful, and it is, like, huge, and it's not in a part of the museum that you would normally go to. The only reason we went to it is because we were trying to find something else, and we asked somebody... Oh, no. We asked somebody where something was, and she was like, oh, it's by the cafe. She was like, but if you go to the cafe, make sure you check this out because it's amazing. And then we were like, okay. So we went and we checked it out, and we literally stood in front of it for like 30 minutes because it's like so detailed. But it does have little faces carved in it and little heads carved in it. And even the artist is one of the heads in it. And I just kept thinking... What if they looked down around the corner with bad CGI? What if they did that?
What would I do? Laugh. I'd laugh.
Yeah. Or right when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is like The Haunting.
If they looked down and had that and looked like that bad CGI, yes, I would laugh. But I also think I'd be like, damn, The Haunting was not as bad as I thought it was. Like, they nailed it. They crushed it.
This is exactly what it looks like. Oof.
Wow, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I was wrong. I was the wrong one.
But then we ended up talking to somebody about the history because she was like, we were like, hey, do you know anything about this? And she was like, not really. But we were like, well, what's your favorite piece? So we ended up just asking people what their favorite pieces are that worked there, and then went around and found their favorite pieces.
They need like
like when you go to a bookstore and you have the little things under it. Yeah.
That is precisely what I was saying. Yes.
Yep. Oh,
now who's psychic? So in tarot.
They're at the cabin house. The really pretty house, large house.
Yes. And they run out of booze. Classic. And so they are looking around the house, trying to find more booze, break into the basement, which is where they find. Are they old enough to booze?
Are they like... That's what I was trying to figure out.
They were there for Redhead's 21st birthday. So at least she is.
Okay.
No, if they're graduating, they should be, right? If they're graduating college.
Were they graduating?
I think so. I think that they were talking like...
Man, I might not have paid as much attention to the beginning as I should have.
You didn't need to. This isn't a movie. I want to be clear. Listeners, are you listening? This is not a movie that has a ton of plot.
That's true, yeah.
You do not have to pay attention to it. Here's what's going to happen. They're going to read each other's tarot cards. Well, one gal is going to read everybody's tarot cards, and then the cards that they get as their, like, archetype kills them over the course of the movie. That's all you need. That's all you need to know.
For the most part,
you got it.
Wait, okay. We didn't say at the top of the episode, did you like the movie?
I had a great time.
Same. Yes, I had a blast. I was really worried to like it. I was like, I like left and I was like, that was a fun ride.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And I was alone in my very favorite movie theater, which another update, RIP, they have closed, likely because I was the only patron ever.
I would go whenever I visited.
Yes. There was one other guy there. I went to see Dune like last week. Like, it's been out. So I was like, I'm going to be alone for sure. There was one other person there also seeing Dune. And I was like,
I wonder if he worked there.
Get out. Maybe. He didn't.
Sometimes that's what happened is we would go, or I would go watch a movie that I knew no one was going to be in.
Oh, maybe. But he came in and I don't think so. He bought a ticket with no like familiarity. Like the person who checked us out knew me. He recognized me because I had just been there the day before. So I don't know. I was like, what are the chances? I don't like this guy. He was fine. I just expected to be alone. I am the wrong here. He's fine. So I went to see this and was alone. And so I did just get to like heckle the movie and it was so fun.
Whenever I went, went on opening day, I think. So I went pretty soon after it released, or like the next day, like, you know how they like release on Thursdays. I went on a Friday. I think I had off work.
Same.
And then every now and then I go in and there's a girl, like, I don't know if it's the same person, but there's always like one or two girls that are there alone. And I'm like, are we all the same? Are we all the same?
Because you run into them with horror movies specifically.
Yeah, specifically horror movies. Like, I'll go in and there will always be like a girl sitting alone, and I'll be like, I don't want to go up and be like, I just want to be clear that we're the same. And then bye. Yeah. Like, what do you do? I don't know how to approach that. So listeners, if you're a single white woman who goes to horror movies alone, please write in. Let me know how to approach you in a non-weird way to just say, I get your soul. We understand each other.
The trouble is, every time we talk about there being other people in our theater, we're like, they can get fucked. I'm sure they do too.
I'm sure that they do too.
So if we want to make friends with people in the theater, we really got to package it correctly, because if they are like us,
they don't want to see us.
The odds are not in our favor.
I do like going to theaters though when people are like, the other people in there are alone and not in like groups, because usually groups is where I'm like, oh no, stop talking. Why are you talking? Why are you talking during this?
Stop talking. That did not happen here. Well, there was talking during this movie, but it was just me to me, and there was nobody else in the room. So it was fine. But yeah, it was super fun. And the characters were fun. And like, I'm going to do a lot of comparing to
Truth or Dare, because it is very similar in almost all aspects.
Similar. Yes. It's almost like shot for shot, but with a different game.
You even have like the same woman who is supposed to save them.
Yes, exactly. And you have the same like
is this the same movie? But
it felt like the same movie, except
but I liked this one better.
Oh, same. Yeah. Oh, same. Big time. Like, I would willingly watch this one again.
Yeah, the characters were really good. The reinterpretations, or the reinterpretations, the interpretations. It's not reinterpreting
of the
cards
villains?
And how they. Yeah, it was really interesting.
I agree. So when they do the initial tarot card reading, fortunately, each person in the group was born in a different month. So we had a diversity of horoscopes to do. And I guess there's a card that matches up with your sign, with your sun, your house. I don't know what any of this means.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. I know this is so important to some people and I don't know anything. But the cards that represent whatever their birth month are what eventually attack and kill many, if not most of them. And it was that was very clear that that's what was going to happen, like, immediately the minute she starts reading the cards and like describing what each you can
already picture it every time it goes. You're like, okay,
exactly.
I know exactly how they're gonna die. That's fine.
It was like there was one that is what like clued me into it to start to take notes, because she used a phrase.
Was it saying don't? You have to make sure you don't run.
It wasn't that one.
Okay,
but it was that gal.
Okay.
She said something about she said something about her eye, like don't like smoke in your eye, or like like something about her eye, and I was like, oh no, we're gonna do something to her eye, and that made me like quickly like take notes on what she said about the other cards that she had already read so that I wouldn't forget them. And then that gal, no, those are two different girls. I got them confused. The one don't run, she got the hanged man.
Yeah.
And the one she mentioned about the eye got the magician.
Oh.
And I did not write down any character names. Oh, but we should cite them. So, Tarot, written and directed by Spencer Cohen and Anna Hallberg. who have worked together before on the 2018 movie Extinction, which I'm unfamiliar with. 2018. And Spencer Cohen is also known for Moonfall, which I'm also unfamiliar with, but Patrick Wilson is in it, and I love him. It's also based on a book.
Yeah, Horoscope.
Terrible name.
I tried to get it, but it couldn't find it anywhere. And by couldn't find it anywhere, could not find it at any library that was accessible. Not gonna buy it.
My understanding is that it's young adult and that the movie is not really, like, it's more inspired by than
loosely based on,
like, an adaptation.
Yeah.
And so we've got an ensemble cast. We've got Harriet Slater as Haley and Aidan Bradley as Grant, Jacob Batalon as Paxton, Avantika, one name, single name, as Paige, Humberly Gonzalez as Madeline, Wolfgang Novogratz as Lucas.
Thank God you're the one doing this.
I'm struggling. Larson
well.
Thompson as Elise, and Olwen. Gosh, this name has a lot of accents on it. Who's
going to be in The Watchers?
Yes.
I did see that. I looked her up afterwards because I was like, oh, she's pretty cool.
Recognized her. I don't think from the Watchers preview, though. You know what I think it is? She looks so much like my third stepmother.
That would be so weird if that's what she went on to do.
I had a moment where I was like, I mean, she was a performer. She sang in like operas.
Oh.
Could she be in horror movies now? It's not her. Unless she changed her name.
That's a exciting name to change it to if you were to.
Yeah. Make it unpronounceable. Yeah. So that's a bunch of people, and they die pretty quickly. So that's why I don't remember most of the character names.
The only person I knew from it was Paxton because of Spider-Man. The guy from Spider-Man. That was like the only name person. That's the only recognizable person in that movie.
Yeah, I didn't know any of them, though. This gal with the single name, she's got to be. You can't have just one name.
Senior year. Yeah, it looks like she was in Mean Girls, which I did not see.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely looks like she's been doing a bunch of stuff. Probably going to be doing more.
She committed to being terrified in this movie. She did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
I believed it. They all did a good job. Like,
yeah.
I really expected for this to be just incredibly bad.
Yeah,
I did not expect a good performance. I did not expect to have fun. So great job all around. I will say the main character, Elise, Larson Thompson, she moves her mouth in a very distinct way. Did you notice this?
No.
I was like distracted by it. I couldn't figure it out. Her lip movements are very over exaggerated, and she opens her mouth really wide when she's talking. And toward the end of the movie, I was like, Emma Stone! She's doing an Emma Stone impression.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Got to the bottom of it. But it bothered me the whole movie. That is my only critique, and that's an insane critique.
I have more critiques, that's for sure. Never mind, we're going to talk about that movie later. Sorry, I have a lot of critiques on another movie we're going to talk about on a different day. Oh my God. And I'm so excited to talk about it eventually.
Okay, I'm excited.
So let's stay on target with tarot.
Yes.
Because this is a good one, and I don't have a lot of critiques. I agree. I do. Yeah. My critique is with the magician.
Okay. I'm excited to talk about that. Let us go through the cards and the deaths. Yes, yeah, the cards and the kills. Oh my God, it was right there. You're so right.
You're so wheezy right. With my laugh. Oh God.
So the first one is the High Priestess. The first kill is the High Priestess. And we don't see her much. I wanted more.
Yeah.
I wanted them to show the monster just a little bit more.
Yeah, which we don't. Well, on most of these, I was okay with them showing it more, except for the magician again.
Yeah, the magician and the high priestess looked good up close.
Yeah.
Which I think was a good decision to have like an actor in makeup for the up close shots. There was plenty of CG in that one. But those were for the like shadowy, silhouetted shots. And I think that if we're going to do it, that's a reasonable way to do it. I think that there is, I think that's an incredible Halloween costume. I think that the High Priestess is a very achievable Halloween costume.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that really stood out to me, though, and I wonder if you remember it, she had the bugle fingers, like in my favorite movie, The Unholy.
The Unholy. Yep, she definitely did have bugle fingers.
She had bugle fingers.
I love the bugle fingers.
It's classic at this point.
You can feel the salt through your skin. It's great.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, that texture. Ugh. I was imagining like...
But I feel like there's like also, I don't know if they pulled inspiration from other movies, but it reminded me of Host going up into an attic.
Yes. Yep. It reminded me of Scream, Home Alone while your sorority sisters are out.
Oh, yeah.
And the like falling down the attic stairs. What did that remind me of? Like death by the stairs from the attic. So the High Priestess spooks our character who goes up to the attic to investigate, falls down the attic ladder, and then the High Priestess like smashes her to death with the ladder. Yeah.
There is a scene.
I get it because she's up high.
Yeah. There is a movie, and I cannot remember what it is. Listeners, write in.
noshowmonster@gmail.com.
So there is another movie that I recall where a ladder does land on somebody, but it lands directly on their eye.
I remember that too.
But I don't. Is it a Final Destination? I don't know what movie.
Maybe
it
a Final Destination. Could it be a Hostel? Could it be?
Okay. It's definitely gross when it happens.
It's gross. Yeah.
And it happens very quickly.
This one was kind of drawn out, though.
This was like very drawn out. Yeah, it was pretty brutal. It was more brutal than I thought it would be. Was this movie rated R?
I was just about to look up the same thing. PG-13.
Okay.
I feel like I'm surprised by that. But I guess there was no sex, no real negative language.
Not a ton of blood.
Like, after that first kill, almost not. I can't think of more.
The Hermit? That one ended up having a little bit, but not a lot.
Not a lot.
Yeah, so not a ton of blood in this one. But the deaths were brutal. Like, they weren't, like, soft, easy.
No,
ones. Yeah, she just kept dropping that ladder on her. Just
really
that was rough.
Really getting after it. I mean, girl boss. We love a woman who sets a goal, achieves a goal.
Yes.
Would you have gone up into the attic?
No.
Alone?
Are you kidding me? Absolutely no. I would have, but like her girlfriend was on the phone with her. I would have been like, could you come over? I'm freaked out.
I probably would have left to go to girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. I would have been like, there's something going on. And then she's like, oh, I think somebody's here. And I was like,
why would you say, don't?
If you know no one's supposed to be there, get the fuck out.
Well, and she thought that her sorority sisters were like doing a birthday prank. They're not.
No, absolutely no.
If you'd know it if they were. Yeah. They wouldn't do a spooky, scary prank.
No.
They would I don't know, what do sorority girls do? There would have been shots involved. It wouldn't have been addicts.
Yeah, I don't.
Next kill is... Oh, what was her...
Wait, no. Was it...
Yes, the next kill is the Hermit. But her card was High Priestess.
Yes.
Which was August.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember what that
means. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
know. It said something about her climbing a ladder or going up.
Yeah. Oh, here's why I can't find my notes. I'm looking at my tarot reading notes, not my tarot the movie notes. Well, doesn't matter. Didn't write it down. So, yes, the next one is Hermit, who was not a big character, like very small personality. He was like
had a crush on somebody else, and then that kind of
I think our main gal.
Oh,
right?
No.
You're right.
Yeah.
It wasn't our main gal. Oh,
It was a different, yeah.
Oh, I was rooting for them.
I was rooting for them too.
He was a sweetie pie. And I think that, was he Capricorn?
I do not remember what any of them are. I just remember he got the Hermit.
Yeah, he got the Hermit.
And that his advice was don't run. No, it wasn't don't run. It said don't go through the door.
Oh.
Or there will be a door, but it's misleading.
The Hermit's light leads you down the wrong track.
Yeah.
Yes, he was Capricorn, and I was like, "Oh, that's me. I'm Capricorn."
Aww.
And then what she was describing, I was like, "Not me. Not me. Don't." She was like, "Rule breaker," and I was like, "Oh, we're talking about somebody else. Got it. Okay." Yeah, and then all of their cards were reversed, and she said that the Hermit reversed represents poor judgment, and I was like, "Oh, now we're talking about me again." Okay. And yeah, this one was like scary.
Yeah.
So the Hermit appears to him as he's walking home
In a subway?
on the subway.
But he's on the platform before getting onto the subway first.
He's not even on the platform yet. It's like walking down a hallway to get to the platform.
Oh, yeah.
And the lights are like flickering, and he turns around and there's this creature, presumably. There's this figure in a robe. You can't see its face, and it's holding up a lantern. And I really appreciated that he immediately was scared and running.
Yeah.
I was like, good. Okay.
You're like, your instinct's good. Keep it going.
That's smart. Because in a lot of scary movies, somebody would be like, "Hey, mister." Like, they'd be like, "What are you doing over there?" And instead, he sensibly ran until he gets to like a forbidden door. That's not what they call
and then
it.
he goes through the door where
Restricted.
there's a light onto it that says go this way or something. Like, it has a sign that says go in here, and the sign, like, you're like, what?
Well, it just said exit, but it was funny because all of the like running lights in the subway, it's because I said running lights. All the lights in the subway had turned off, including all of the like floodlights, like emergency lights that would be on generators, except for this one exit sign. Or maybe it said like, no, on the door it said like employees only, and then there was the illuminated exit sign over it. Yeah, I don't know. Gets got by. Was it an out of commission subway?
It seemed like it was. He did end up going into the subway, and the Hermit like went at him, and that was pretty terrifying. And then
It was scary.
And then as he was going at him, he got out of the train, and then he got hit by another train.
Yep.
That was going through.
And it was just like a shower of blood drops.
And then I did love this part where they like go to the cops and they're like, obviously something's fucking weird. And the cops are like, probably not. And you're like, oh my God. And they're all just like, these two things happening is definitely pretty fucked.
Like, something here is weird. And then like the cops and the people at the school are like, y'all should just go home. Like, leave the school and go home. Don't let them share this trauma together.
Yeah.
2 of their best friends just died. Let them, they don't need to be alone right now. Especially if they're like, shit's fucked up.
I did like the, what was it? They were listening to the podcast at the beginning, and they were like, it's always somebody you know. And then they got really suspicious, and they were like, well, it's obviously not us. And that went away pretty fast. But I did like that little moment where they were like, well, it could be any of us.
It could be any of us. Yeah. So one of the characters, the Fool, who you recognized from Spider-Man, is obsessed with horror podcasts. And so when they got to him, I was like, not horror, true crime podcasts. When they got to him, I was like, oh, I'm not the Capricorn at all. I'm this guy. Yep. Like, this is me. Except here's my, you know what? I've got a second critique of the movie. And here it is. Later, when they decide to go back to the house to destroy the cursed tarot deck, he's like, we can't go back to the house. Everybody knows you can't return to the scene where it happened. And I'm like, they only say that about the bad guys.
Yeah.
Like, if you committed the crime, the first place they're going to look for you is where the crime happened. Y'all didn't commit a crime. It's safe for you to go back. So does he listen to that many?
Oh, yeah, gotcha. I thought you were saying secretly he was the witch the entire time.
Oh.
Which maybe, honestly, that's going to be in the second one.
I mean, the ending was a little convenient.
Yeah. Confusing. Yeah.
We'll get there. We're working our way through. So, yeah, at this point, they do start putting it together. And fortunately, most of them, like, agree to it pretty quickly. We don't have to do the tedious, like, you're crazy.
Everyone's suspicious of each other. Yeah.
45 minutes. Appreciate that we can all just cooperate on this. And so they go to, they Google it. They just Google it. And there's a woman online who seems to know what she's talking about with tarot. So they go to her house.
Yeah.
That seems insane to me.
Yeah. Because they were like, she's not answering the phone. And they were like, she has an email, but I don't know if she'll get back to us in time. So they're like, it's fine. We'll drive. We'll go.
Okay.
But they did smart things because they were like, we need to stay together and we need to pay attention.
Yep.
They were pretty smart about stuff. Like, I don't think that they were, except some people did dumb stuff.
That's true. But overall, I agree. Like, reasonable choices that I'm not, for the most part, upset with.
Yeah.
So they show up at this gal's house and she has encountered this before. Like,
in like Woodstock or something?
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, it was like a music festival. I think it was Woodstock. Like, she read her friends' cards.
That's fun.
Oh, and something that's different is that the main girl, read her own card.
Yes. So we find out that this woman who looks like one of my stepmothers encountered the same thing. So this exact cursed tarot deck she had encountered. She read her friends' cards. They all died like this. She has done research over the last 50 years into this and found other cases of groups of people where either everybody dies or there's a single survivor. I think hers was the only instance of a survivor.
And she survived because she didn't read.
Because she didn't read her cards.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we've got everybody is in danger in our group. And she's like, you got to destroy the cards. Notably does not tell them how to destroy the cards. She just says destroy it.
Yep.
So they all go back to the house. And this is where the fool is like, you can't go back to where it started. And this is the first decision where you're like, don't split up.
I think that the hanged man happened. Or that.
You're right.
Between that.
You're right. You're so right. I missed the hanged man because she runs the car.
And her thing says, whatever you do, don't run. And everyone kept yelling, don't run, don't run.
But she has to. It's in her nature.
Yeah. And she freaked out because her like original thing was like, you're going to have problems with technology. And then like the car shut down.
Starts to fail. Yeah. And so she's running. And this, I can't believe I almost forgot this because this was so memorable to me. She does get hanged on like a bridge overpass and by like a little gremlin-y monster-y guy who was essentially, do you remember Dead Like Me? And so in Dead Like Me, it's a group of Grim Reapers who are part of, like in the universe, there are different groups of Reapers who are in charge of different types of death. And so, deaths. And so this group of Reapers are in charge of like freak accidents. So the main character is killed in the first episode by a toilet that falls out of a plane or whatever, like freak accidents. And there are like little gremlin-y death gremlins that actually they like set up Rube Goldberg machines for people to die in freak ways. And then these reapers like care for them upon their death. That's what this little gremlin-y guy reminded me of. He's just like scrambling up the, the bridge. I was like, oh, it's I know him. I don't recognize any of the actors, but I recognize him. Yeah, so she gets hanged. Poor thing.
Yeah.
R.I.P. And then the fool is freaking out. Our guy, he's panicked. He's like, y'all can go back to the house to destroy these cards. I'm going to go smoke weed in my dorm room.
Which they were like, that's the opposite of what the cards told you.
It's the opposite. Don't small spaces. Mm-hmm. And I think that they showed this one a little too long.
Oh, I liked the way this one looked, so I was happy seeing it more often.
Oh, I think that I was really enjoying it until it came up close to the.
That's
so
fair.
Our character gets like stuck in an elevator, and the fool is a little jester character who's like following him into the building and just being sort of menacing outside the elevator. And I liked that part, but then he gets like up close and his face is changing. I think we got a little. That's sort of the reverse of the High Priestess, where up close looked really good and far away didn't so much. This was sort of the other way around for me.
The thing that I liked so much about it was the movements that that it had. And I was like, that is some creepy movements.
Remind me what it was like.
It was very rigid and flexible at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like very...
Here's
just
my note.
Really weird.
I don't know why I can't remember it. Here's what I wrote down. The fool is fucking cracking me up, dude. I'm having a great time. Do you think this is what Elisa Lam saw before she died? Do you remember the Elisa Lam story?
No.
Okay, so here's my true crime podcast hat.
Oh.
So Elisa Lam, this is actually a very sad story because whatever, let's focus on the mystery part. She was I want to say college student. Mm-hmm. I think that she was visiting the Cecil. I know that she was visiting the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles, which is like not a good place to be. Lots of death and murders and crime. Like Richard Ramirez stayed there for a long time. It's just not, it's not good. It's not good vibes. And she, for some reason, was traveling. I want to say like she was from somewhere far away. Far away. She came to LA alone. She's traveling alone and she stays in the Cecil. And this is like 10 years ago, maybe, if that. And so it is known.
Recent? Yeah.
This is recent and people know not to stay at the Cecil. It's like a block from Skid Row. Like it's not a good place to be, especially for somebody new to the country and new to traveling alone and who is like a young woman. Mm-hmm. So we don't know why she was staying there and she just disappeared. She just disappeared. And she was found because residents in the hotel were like, water tastes funny.
Oh yeah. No, I know now. I know now.
Yep. And so they find her in one of the water tanks on top of the hotel, passed away. And they eventually release security footage of her in the hotel. And we see her. This is part of why it was so weird. We see her like enter the elevator, push a bunch of buttons on the floor, on the elevator. She's like poking her head in and out of it. Mm-hmm. It's like she's interacting with somebody, but we can't see anything. Mm-hmm. Her movements are really erratic. And then she is gone. Like she steps off the elevator and never is seen again. And we are pretty sure that we know that this was mental illness. Not that she took her own life, but that she probably was in a delusion of some sort and climbed into the water tank. But before knowing that, it's just a fun mystery to see this video.
Yeah.
And so that's how I felt watching this. I was like, oh, it was just the Fool. It was the Fool coming for Elisa Lam.
I mean, if you had watched the security cam from his interaction, because you wouldn't see unless you had your card read for you, probably wouldn't see it.
Oh, true.
So.
True. Yeah, that security footage is going to be crazy.
But yeah.
So they do eventually go back to the house and they, classic, try to burn the tarot deck in a fire. Doesn't work. Mm-hmm. I think that we all could have predicted that.
Yep.
Eventually.
How would you try to destroy it if you...
I'd probably start with like Ring of Salt, I guess.
Oh, okay. Trap it.
Eat the cards.
Then you gain the power.
Exactly. New movie copyright. How would you? Shredder. Paper shredder.
Yeah, easy. So fire doesn't work. Yeah, I guess that, I should have thought of an answer before asking. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. What if... one of those hydraulic presses.
Yeah.
Just and see if it breaks the press.
Oh, shit.
That'd be cool.
And also, you'd probably get like pretty good TikTok clout.
True.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that this would work for destroying the cards, but I think that it would be very
lucrative,
productive.
Yeah, for sure. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a good idea.
Oh yeah. If they can't be destroyed, can you use them for stuff? Let's spin it. Let's do the capitalistic thing.
Yeah, let's reframe.
Yeah.
Coasters.
Probably never get stained. Could you build like a shelter? Just went through a tornado. Could I build a tornado shelter with it? Would I be safe?
Smart.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like they just put Annabelle in like a locked box.
Yeah, could we just have like a blessed box?
Yeah. Is that all you need?
Does that even work? Does it work? Oh, a Dybbuk box.
Yeah, those are not real, unfortunately.
Bummer.
I know. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to break it to you. It is interesting, though, because everybody thought that was... We're doing a lot of tangents today. I hope that these facts are fun.
Yeah. You missed it.
You missed it. So Dybbuk boxes, I learned about them from that movie, The Possession. Mm-hmm. Love it. Great movie.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Modest Yahoo.
Yeah. We love the Jeffrey Dean Morgan part of it.
Yes. I mean, I did love Modest Yahoo in that movie.
At the time, I also did as well.
Yes. Right.
Sorry.
We can't cancel all my movies.
That's true. Let's hope Jeffrey Dean Morgan never does anything unspeakable, because that would ruin everything that we'd cancel the podcast. It would be done.
I'm knocking on wood. Can you hear it? I'm knocking on the wood.
I will too.
Oh my God. Can you imagine if him or Kevin Bacon? No, I'm knocking on the wood again. I'm knocking on wood again.
Not.
I cannot. I won't. I shan't.
Nicolas Cage probably already did. No, that's fine.
I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, it's better we don't.
So, yes, that movie is what like brought Dybbuk boxes to
mainstream.
Yes. And it appeared a lot of the paranormal world people, your ghost adventures, your destination truth or whatever.
Okay.
They bought it and like really investigated it, and people were posting Dybbuk boxes on eBay. You can still find them on eBay. And we were able to trace it back to like the first post. Like there are no mentions of Dybbuk boxes until like 2008 or something.
Wow.
On the internet. And it traces back to, I think it was an eBay post with this haunted story in it. And that guy had like fully came out and was like, no, I made it up. This is creative writing.
Fun.
This isn't real. This isn't real. But that doesn't...
You're selling the story, not the product.
Yes. And
beautiful.
That has not put an end to people thinking that they are real. Like that Dybbuk box, I believe, is still in Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep. There's
The
a lot
more
of...
you know.
The more you know.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
My pleasure. Yeah, so I guess we could try a Dybbuk box.
Yeah. Just wouldn't do much. Gotcha.
Yeah. But maybe here's...
Duct tape. Gorilla tape?
Why not both?
Yeah.
But here's what I'm saying. What if we make a Dybbuk box out of the cards?
Ooh.
Can we put something else
inside of it?
in the Dybbuk box? Yeah. Crossover with the Truth or Dare demon.
Oh.
Lock her in there.
Interesting. I don't know why, but I thought about like a one of those doggy bags of dog poop that you light on fire. Put that. Just put that, and then put that in your neighbor's house and see if they step on it, and then you're good. You're
They
good.
break their foot because it's indestructible. You get sued. Now
And you're like, well, hey, you'll make headlines. It'll be good. We all want to be famous. We need that 15 minutes. I'm going to make a lip line out of my fame. It's fine.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I wish I knew. You know what?
I don't wear makeup,
probably,
so that's super unhelpful.
Well, it's whatever. There are so many like bits and skits I bet we're missing out on because we don't know tarot at all.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I bet there's
something really funny there.
You could sell pentacles.
Ugh.
I don't know what
I don't know
what a pentacle is.
I'm gonna have to look that up after this. Ugh.
Sounds gross.
It does.
I think it's like a little
category of porn.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. No, Penta 5, right?
So
I think it's
tentacles?
a little 5-shaped buddy with like, I think it looks like a little sigil.
Okay.
I don't have my cards with me. I'm sorry to the listeners who know this and who are yelling at their phone.
So instead of a pentagram, it's a pentacle.
Oh my God. Yes, probably. That sounds right. I believe that. The next kill is the gal who has done all the investigation on this cursed deck. She shows up at the house. She's going to help them destroy the deck. And I don't really remember what her plan was. She
wanted to
cast
summon
a circle.
her.
Yeah.
And
to just talk? She just wanted to talk?
Maybe, because she was like, I understand. And I remember her being like, I understand your pain.
Because we learned the legend of the woman who cursed the box. So she was a clairvoyant years and years and years and years and years and years and years ago. And she foretold that she like worked
her owners. Yeah,
her owners. She foretold that their child that the wife was going to die in childbirth, right?
Oh, or she was going to miscarry or something. There was something.
I think maybe everybody but the dad was going to die.
Yeah.
And the dad was like, no, I refuse to believe this. Reread the cards, reread the cards.
And she kept rereading them and they came out with the same.
They said the same every time. And when her prophecy came true, the man and the town like hunted her down, brutally killed her daughter, which is rude.
Yeah.
Don't do that. And she found her dead daughter, went pretty mad with grief, did a bunch of rituals to curse the tarot deck, took her own life to further cement that blood magic, I guess. And I guess our gal was just going to be like, I see your trauma. My trauma sees your trauma.
Aww, so sweet. Did not work at all.
No, not in the least. She gets hella killed by 7 swords.
It is cool, though, because she possesses her and then she reads her own cards and she forces her to read the cards. I was like, ooh.
Yikes. This is a whole thing. That's not fair.
Yeah, I was like, whew. Oh.
Yeah, so she got, and before she got, she was like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, Girl, it's fine.
You tried.
I understand.
You did more than
I
anybody
guess.
else could have done.
Yeah, thank you for trying.
You did bring her out into the open, and she's real mad, and we're all in here with her, so...
Yep.
Potato, I guess.
But it's all fine. It's all going to work out in the end. First, I guess not all of it will.
Yeah.
Some things will. And so we're all running. We're down to 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we're down to 3 people, 3 survivors. We're running through the house. One gal gets separated. This is the actress with just a single name.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't remember that name or her character name.
That's good. We're doing great.
And she thinks that she hears our main character calling her name in the hallway. And so she's following that voice. And it is a trap. And it is the magician. Mm-hmm. And before we get to your criticisms of the magician, I think that you and I should establish a code word or phrase so that if we ever need to lure the other down a hallway in a trustworthy way, like actually
probably
to
not
safety.
Say it publicly over a podcast.
Damn.
But it would be a quote from a movie. Should I say the movie? It would be a quote from Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, probably.
Of course it was.
Yeah.
I was thinking either about, never mind. I have picked the quote.
Did you say it? Should you say yours? We'll change it up.
I guess we should.
When it happens.
We'll change it.
So
I was.
Okay, go.
No, what's yours?
I would probably say you peed on it. Why in perfect hell did you pee on it?
I was thinking, are you still gay? Yeah, no, I just like the name so much. I didn't want to get rid of it. Gay Perry.
God, I need to rewatch that movie. I haven't watched it in so long.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
So
it's been
good.
a minute for
I was
me.
like, or
ficuses.
Yeah, Spider Monkey comes from the future. Only says the word ficus. Talking monkey. Yeah, ugly sucker from the future only says the word ficus. Man, what good writing.
God, that's the one.
So good. So good.
Oh. Okay, well, now our listeners can lure us.
No, it's fine. I'll do a different quote. We'll just have different quotes. I mean, if they do it, then fine. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, honestly, if they've done that level of research, we
did them a favor. They watched a good movie.
Be like, oh my God, you listen to the pod?
Oh, we're safe.
No, I'll climb into your box. Yeah, no worries.
Thank you for listening, though.
Oh my God. 5 stars? Did you leave a review? So yeah, that's this next one. This gal gets got.
Oh yeah.
It's the magician was her card. And I was so worried about her eyes because this is the one that they had told her something about her eyes. And she did get like something stuck in her eye.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like
terrible. It just made it really blurry.
Yeah.
She couldn't see where she was
not even
going.
real.
It was
damage.
like as if somebody like broke her glasses. That's not what happened, but it was like the same thing as if you have bad eyesight and somebody broke your glasses. But I immediately knew what was going to happen because they talked about her being split or being torn into 2 during the reading. And I was like, okay. And then after that's going to happen, it takes so long to get to that point.
They dragged it out.
Yeah, that one. I was like, this one could have been like half the time that it was. And it wasn't like.
That's what they were trying to do. Cut something in half. They just cut the wrong.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I guess that
when she climbed into that trunk, I was like,
bad idea. Why the fuck would you do that?
One thing about magicians. They always are cutting women in half.
Yeah.
Don't get in there.
And no way. I was like, why? These were bad decisions. She also couldn't see. So it was kind of like, okay, your bad decisions are going to happen. But maybe I don't know if the part that we were supposed to be afraid is like, she has a whole audience watching her and they're not doing anything and they're not helping and she's about to be torn up in that. Well, like, what if that actually happened with a magician sawing someone in half? You think that, like, it's supposed to happen?
Whoa, I didn't even think about that.
It still doesn't make it a good scene.
I think that the magician looks bad. I thought that the audience members looked okay.
Yeah, they were fine. They were creepy.
And they were like weird old-timey, like 20s, like heyday of magicians style. I'm glad that we really only caught glimpses of him through her blurry-ass vision or a keyhole because he did not look good. I do think that she acted the shit out of this scene.
That's true. I do agree with that.
We had like Blair Witch level snotty nose. Like she committed to being terrified. I thought that that was very believable.
Yeah.
And I just really respect when like a really, I mean, all of our actors anymore are like beautiful, atypically beautiful people. And I really, really, really appreciate when they can like, that doesn't have to be the point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to be beautiful in this scene. I'm fucking terrified. And it's better if I'm ugly for that. Like screwing up her face, not afraid to do that. I thought that that was really great. And also probably she knew what the magician was going to look like. And she was like, okay, I got to do the heavy lifting.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that. I thought the card was creepier for this one. I was like, oh, this is going to be really scary. And then it was such a letdown. And I think that might have been one of the biggest problems is that from the card. Because the other ones based on the card were kind of like on par with the card. This was the only one that was like a big letdown.
And I think I read that this was like the last one that they did. And so it was a little more rushed. Okay. Which does make sense. I mean, it is a lot of creatures to design for a movie, right? Like, I understand that not all of them are going to be equivalent, but yeah, this one was a little disappointing. So now we're down to two people. We've got Elise, who does the Emma Stone mouth, and her newly ex-boyfriend, Grant. Was that his name?
Oh, he had a name?
On the IMDb, he does. I don't remember one from the movie. And his card was the devil, and hers was death. So we've got our big bads lined up, ready to go. And I don't really know. We don't see the personification of death very much, but it is sort of like skeletal and emaciated.
Oh.
Which made sense to me.
Okay, I remember now.
And then the devil looks like what you'd expect a devil to look like. Neither of them get got. So, spoiler. They both survive. But Grant is like almost dragged into hell by the devil.
Yeah.
That's pretty scary. I don't like that. I don't like that very much. But we've got to call back now to our main character who did the reading of the tarot cards has not been pursuing tarot for years because for a long time her mother was sick and she was consulting the cards to find out what that was going to be like. Got death every single time. And so when she got it this time, when she read her cards, she was like, fucking classic, of course. And we find out that her cards had told her when she started dating this guy that they were going to break up. And so she sort of was like, well, all of that is immovable. This is fate. Of course we can't be together. And so we've got like the star-crossed lovers type thing. But they decide, fuck fate. We can overcome anything. And their like horoscopes are compatible or whatever. They're like a power couple, unstoppable. I don't know. And so they decide that the way, like, if they've been cursed by their horoscope being read by these cards, then all they have to do is read the woman who did the cursing. Yeah. That we just got to read her horoscope and then she'll be cursed too.
Perfect.
Flawless logic. I mean,
it
might
is.
as fucking well.
Yeah.
Like, give that a shot. I don't know.
I really enjoyed this as the way to destroy her. I was like, oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big, like, lean in moment. Yeah. I liked that. Like, can't beat them, join them.
Yeah.
And that was, I thought that looked pretty good.
Yeah.
She, like, swirls up into smoke and ashes and all the cards flutter down like destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
That looked pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, not bad.
I liked that. Oh, but there's this like touching moment where Elise, our main character, is like telling the woman who cursed the cards, like, my trauma recognizes your trauma.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to let go. And like, our main character had this missed connection to her mom that she couldn't let go of, and our cursed gal had a missed connection to her daughter that she couldn't let go of. And so they have this like mutual, I don't know if it was mutual, maybe not mutual.
Yeah.
Elise lets go, and cursed woman poofs away.
She goes.
She goes.
Yeah, she goes. Mm-hmm.
Did she let go? Unclear.
I don't know.
Unclear. So they're leaving, and it was around this time that I was consulting my notes, and I was like, wait, how did the fool die? I've had one glass of wine. Did I miss it? Did I forget it already?
I was like, did they kill him off screen? I also had that. I was like, did they just kill him off screen? Because
where? I don't like that. Where'd he go? Nowhere. Or here. He's alive.
Yeah. And he drives up.
He didn't go anywhere. Which looks very spooky. And it had something to do with Grant's horoscope.
Yeah. Something about.
He was like, lights on a road or whatever. I don't remember what it was. But yeah, he rolls up. It was very like the end of Get Out.
Mm-hmm.
Like the comedic relief shows up again. He just needed to be away for the climax and conclusion of the film so that it was serious and scary. Yeah, he shows up. He's alive. There's no real explanation.
He does say that I remembered whenever you read the cards and you said, you're a friend that shows up unexpectedly when they need you the most. And I was like, oh, that's convenient. Super fucking convenient, man.
And also convenient, it was his roommate who stumbles upon him in the elevator, cowering in a corner. So was he also saved by a friend who shows up unexpectedly in the moment? Like, can you counteract your card by employing the card?
See, that's the thing. I was like, no one did the opposite of their card.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I was like, if she didn't run, would she have survived? If he didn't go, if he went into the dark instead of going into that lighted area, would he have survived?
Oh. Boy, I don't know. Sequel.
Yeah.
Sequel.
I'd watch it. I would watch it so hard.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
I do think that a sequel would be pretty dreadful.
Oh, for sure. But I would watch the shit out of it.
Oh, for sure. Mm-hmm. So I looked a little bit into who created these monsters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's a handful of people. And one of them, I recognized his work from the internet. So the concept artist who designed the concepts of the monsters. His name is Trevor Henderson.
Did he also do the cards? Or
no, that was Richard Wells. He's an artist who did the cards. And
the cards
a third
were really
person.
Cool, so.
The cards were very cool. And I hope that they make like promotional. Like, I would love to buy a copy.
They did really good with promotional stuff with this movie. So I would hope.
Like, just release some cards. I want to look at them up close. And then Dan Martin is a special effects artist who designed the like actual implementation of the creatures in the movie. But this guy who designed the monsters, Trevor Henderson, I know his work from Instagram is where I know it from. He makes he takes they look like found footage pictures of monsters. And so he'll like use like an urban explorer photo from like a decrepit building and then put in the artwork of a weird monster.
Oh, fun.
And they're very creative and they look pretty good. And I don't know, they're fun to see. I hadn't thought about him in years, but like when I started scrolling through his work, I was like, oh my God, yes, I remember this. I remember this around, I bet that it was related to how Slender Man came to be. Like that was part of, like there was like a subculture on the internet where people were trying to create
Yep.
a new urban legend. So,
Slimy swamp ghost.
yes, I think that's right.
Oh, wow. Yeah. These are really great.
Yeah, aren't they cool?
Ooh. Is that the high priestess?
Oh,
Ooh,
is it?
that's fun. Yeah, there's one showing like it's a little animation for tarot.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll put links to his stuff in the episode description. And then the guy who actually made the art for the cards, Richard Wells, has been involved in some really iconic things.
Oh.
I don't know exactly in what capacity. Like, he's just billed as art department. But he worked on Doctor Who and Sherlock. And I don't remember the others. But I was like, what is, like, he's not even just doing horror stuff or like artwork. I mean, I guess it's artwork stuff if he's in the art department, but like, good for him. That's fascinating. That's so cool. And then the guy who did the creature design for the film, his name is Dan Martin, and he has worked on some interesting things, including Possessor, which is a very interesting thinky movie.
Is it the one that is by Cronenberg?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And Baby Cronenberg.
Yes.
And he was involved in Infinity Pool, which I haven't seen yet, but that's neat to think about. Like, it makes me curious about the movie in a different way.
Yeah.
And he also worked on stop motion and dash cam.
Oh, we need to watch dash cam.
We still need to watch dash cam. Yep. And he does practical effects. He is a sculptor, which is so cool. Great. That's so cool.
And what was his name?
Dan Martin.
Dan Martin. I'm going to look him up after this as well.
Oh, and I think he worked on, it's a Nicolas Cage movie, Color Out of Space.
Void. There are a lot of ones that have the same kind of cover.
Yeah. Color Out of Space.
That's it.
But I know what movie you're talking about with Void.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're thinking of Enter the Void. There's another horror movie called The Void, which is good. Recommend.
Okay.
But yeah, Enter the Void has this style of cover. I do have a question for you about tarot. If you had to be killed by one of these cards,
okay,
which would you choose?
I was going to say probably the Hermit because it was so quick. But then I don't like being that scared and having that thing come at me like that. That would be very scary.
The Magician is my knowest no.
Yeah.
For the same reason.
Yeah.
That's like so scared for a stretched out amount of time.
And I wouldn't want the High Priestess because of the constant boop, boop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because I was leaning towards the High Priestess.
The Hangman, maybe? The Hanged, maybe?
Hanged Man is going to be the fastest death, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah, quite possibly. That might be the one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no.
I was thinking High Priestess so I could talk her into
the swords one. I would take the swords one.
Oh, yeah. Swords. Mm-hmm. Smart.
Yeah.
That's smart. Yeah, same. I changed my answer.
That seemed like the quickest and the least scary.
I guess it depends on how long. Because we see her disappear and we don't see her dead corpse for another like 15 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
So who knows what was going on?
Yeah, that's fair.
In that time.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I am the Hermit, though. I am the Hermit.
Okay. You're walking around in corridors with a little lamp.
No, I can't be walking around. I mean, the corridors in my home.
That's fair. With a little
Hermit. A friend of mine actually gifted me like a carving of the Hermit card.
Oh.
I have it in the other room. I would show you, but it's holding a window open.
That's fair.
I'll put a picture in the description. And I was thinking, well, you know what? I should have fucking done this. I was thinking about how I should put it on my front door to just like, as like a no solicitors sign. And maybe if I had fucking done that.
Yeah, somebody would have come into your house. Yeah. Oh my God.
So scary. So scary. Do you have any more thoughts on this movie? It was super fun, and I want to see more. I want to look further into what the team who created the monsters got up to.
This was a show, The Monster, that was okay for the most part, except for a couple complaints.
Yep.
And I just really loved it. I also went into it expecting it to... I thought it would be okay. Like, I didn't think it was going to be great, but I had a better time than I had expected.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as corny as I thought. It was corny, but, like, in a good way, not in a... And it was... Oh, sorry. That's a movie we'll talk about later. So I just, like... They did things that made sense. And some other movies don't do things that make sense. And it makes it so shitty.
You can't make them. No. You can't make them make sense.
Yeah.
No, I agree. This was like charming. It was charming, which is not at all what I expected. I truly expected something about the caliber of Would You Rather.
Oh.
So this was
much better. Yeah.
Much, much better. But I think that I would have like had a fun time even if my expectations weren't already so low.
Yeah.
Like, it did not take long for the movie to win me over. Pretty quickly, I was like, we're doing something else. And I think that they knew when they were being corny.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that they were being, like, precious about it. I think that they were like, we're doing a horror movie, and horror movies are dumb. So let's be dumb.
Yeah.
I don't know. What movie are we covering next? No, what did we decide? Strangers Chapter 1?
Yeah, should we do Strangers Chapter 1? I'm not saying that that's the movie I was alluding to this entire time, but it might have been. So, yeah. But did you watch the original Strangers yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Are you going to watch it before we have the... I don't know, because I am so confused about how you will react to that movie having seen the Strangers Chapter 1.
Oh, okay. I'll do it. Okay. I'll watch it.
It's going to be weird. I am so excited to see... I don't know. My brain is having a really hard time processing and comprehending how it's going to be. Because, like, I do have, like, a past with the Strangers original. And I think we talked about it, is that, like, I really love that movie.
Everybody does. Yeah. I'm, like, the one person on earth who hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
Because I don't gravitate toward... I'll save it for the pod.
We're just going to launch into it now and go through it. But I'm excited to talk about it, just in general. So... Yeah, it will be. Oh my God, that movie. Sorry. I'm just. I did not know that I would have so many feelings about it. I thought I would feel pretty neutral. I do not feel neutral about this movie.
Okay. So. Okay. I'm excited to talk about it. So listeners, little teaser, little tantalizing taste of what you can get in 2 weeks. Well, I don't really want to promise dates.
Yeah, let's not promise.
The next time you hear from us, we will probably be talking about Strangers Chapter 1. And in the meantime, you can find us on social media sometimes, not often, if I'm being totally honest with you. I'm sorry. That's my job, and I'm doing a bad job.
Maybe one day.
You can email us.
Ooh, I'll put pictures of the tarot cards.
Yeah.
Is there anything, is that like not okay to do? Is there anything around that that's like you shouldn't do that? Did they
not to my knowledge.
Okay. I might Google it beforehand.
We will talk to you soon. Love you, bye. Happy spooky.